25 before the hour. So Rick Scott in Florida, governor, took time out this holiday to go to a homeless shelter in East Naples, Florida, to pass out Thanksgiving dinner to families who were there. The shelter's program fed about 7,000 families last week, with about 200 volunteers packing and distributing meals. Now, while this Nazi son of a bitch, Rick Scott, was handing out food, he says, I care completely about all these programs. I do. He has an unusual way of showing it. In his budget cuts this year, he slashed funding to some veteran and farm surplus programs that helped the homeless. And he said, quote, I care completely about all these programs. All the programs are very important, but nobody wants their taxes to go up. So what Rick Scott did, he really cares. What he did, he zeroed out all homeless funding, all of it. Every dime, $7 million worth of homeless funding into the pockets of the wealthy who put this Nazi bastard in office. The funding that he ended supported programs dedicated to homelessness prevention, housing initiatives, and programs that help people get back into some kind of housing once they're on the street. And not only that, he took out the line items so it can never be funded again. And to show how much he cares about the homeless, Scott went further by vetoing an additional $12 million in funding that the state legislature had passed to support homeless veterans. Florida has about the second highest number of homeless veterans in the country, 17,000 of them in Florida. Homeless veterans, 17,000 homeless veterans. And Rick Scott gutted the programs that helped them. And then this miserable son of a bitch has the audacity to go to a homeless shelter. It's a wonder somebody didn't hold his head down in a vat of turkey gravy until he stopped squiggling. He goes to a homeless shelter and talks about how he cares about all the... Almost finished. Newt Gingrich. Newt Gingrich has an idea of putting kids to work to clean out schools and get rid of the unionized adult janitors, the ones who are with the American Federation of State, County, Municipal Employees. But Gingrich says putting the kids to work would save money. I've got a second grader in public elementary school, right? And Gingrich wants my kid to sweep the floors. You miserable son of a bitch. Now, this is the guy that has the open-ended Tiffany account that he carries an outstanding balance of 6 figures. This is the one married to that strange-looking mannequin, that animatronic mannequin who just kind of walks along. Here's a recap of what he said about this idea over the past week. First of all, this is the truth out. First of all, those child labor laws that were enacted in the 19th century to protect children from exploitation, laws that limit working hours and give them time to get a decent education and blah, blah, blah. Those laws are still in effect, Newt. They really are. The working hours of children under 16 are limited to no more than 3 hours a day or 18 hours a week when school is in session. But But that's, we're talking about Newt Gingrich there. He calls the child labor laws, quote, truly stupid, end quote. Stupid? Child labor laws stupid? What does this miserable son of a bitch want? This is another one of these right-wing, Nazi-style, fascist right-wingers. Get rid of the child labor laws because those laws are stupid. He wants some kid janitors. He said, quote, kid janitors would, quote, be dramatically less expensive than unionized janitors, end quote. Oh, God. But, before everybody starts jumping on his ass like I am, he's only talking about kids working 20 hours a week. That's all. He actually said that kids in the poorest neighborhoods are trapped by the child labor laws that prevent them from earning money. Those laws also protect kids from serious exploitation, but what is this lard-ass thug? What is... So, what should schools do to carry out Gingrich's plan here? 18th century plan. Quote, get rid of their unionized janitors. Have one master janitor and pay local students to take care of the school. The kids actually do the work. And that would give them pride in schools. And the students will begin the process of rising. Oh, my God. These people are serious. Cleaning a school, that includes sanitizing toilets, handling hazardous cleaning chemicals, scrubbing floors with a mop for hours. You imagine a 9-year-old doing that? Right, Newt? Huh? Well, the little sumbitches wear rubber gloves. Right, Newt? Another point that Gingrich kind of ignores, a lot of these unionized janitors, they're a threat to freedom! They're unionized janitors! They're a threat to freedom! Yeah! A lot of those unionized janitors he'd replace with second graders are parents, and their janitorial jobs, put a roof over kids' heads and food on the table and provide them with health care and a chance to get an education. You could argue that dad or mom being a janitor is the only thing between a kid and poverty. Firing someone's mom or dad and hiring some 8-year-old isn't exactly the process of rising up the ladder from poverty to the middle class, right, Newt? You filthy pig. You filthy pig. Where do these people come from? Where do these people come from? Whew. Let me read my message from Lois, who's sponsoring this hour, to get my mind back. Lois Swinsky, who's our sponsor, writes, Mike, you are my brother from another mother. Keep talking the truth. You can't make this stuff up. The government, the GOP, banks, oil moguls, biopharma, healthcare, no jobs. The fall of the Roman Empire is upon us. You are so right, Lois, and thanks for the sponsorship. You left off Newt Gingrich, though. Rick Perry doesn't know how old you have to be in this country to vote. And Newt Gingrich doesn't give a damn. He wants to fire unionized janitors out of the schools and put third graders to work swabbing toilets. What do these Republicans use for brains? I'm serious. Where do these asswipes get any kind of consciousness at all? Where does this come from?